Thinking is a process confined to the physical brain. It's about exploring, analyzing, imagining, and reasoning. When we are thinking, we are actively engaging our mind to form ideas, solve problems, or interpret information. It's often tentative, involving possibilities and what-ifs. For instance, when we are thinking about a decision, we are weighing options, considering consequences, and trying to anticipate outcomes. Knowing, on the other hand, is about certainty. It implies that a conclusion or understanding not based on any concrete evidence or experience, which could be best described as intuition. Knowing is often rooted in facts beyond human reason, familiarity, or personal truth, not necessarily on empirical evidence. For example, you know because you know because you know. In essence, thinking equals the journey, questioning, reasoning. Knowing equals the destination, certainty, conclusion. I consider thinking as a process of the human, or nowadays AI brain, while knowing is the normal state of the soul and requires no physicality or physical brain to function. It is the normal state of the eternal soul. Some may consider that to be a profound perspective, framing thinking as something tied to the limitations and mechanics of a physical brain, an activity that involves sorting, analyzing, and grappling with the material world. Meanwhile, knowing is elevated beyond the material realm, existing as the inherent, timeless state of the soul. As someone who comes from both a Jewish and scientific background, I distinguish thinking as transient and process-driven, whereas knowing is an eternal, unchanging truth, and a connection to the essence of being may seem paradoxical. It suggests that while, as humans, or future AGIs, we think to navigate this reality, the soul simply knows, without effort or reliance on a physical medium. This resonates deeply with philosophical and spiritual teachings that describe the soul as pure consciousness, inherently aware of universal truths. From this perspective, thinking could even be seen as a kind of veil, obscuring or complicating the clarity of the soul's knowing. I believe it was the Buddha who indicated that the brain is described as a thin veil over reason, aka Maya. While Christian theology is a long way from my frame of religious ideology, I see in the Christian writings, the Apostle Paul said, "The thinking brain is like viewing physical reality through a mirror, glass darkly," as found in 1 Corinthians chapter 12. His description of God is also quite profound, and one I personally have no problem with when he said God is that in which we live and move and have our being, found in Acts chapter 17, proving once again that even a blind squirrel can sometimes find a nut or choice seed. Many ancient teachings, including those found in Judaism, particularly the Jewish mystic teachings in Kabbalah, align beautifully with this idea of the brain and, by extension, thinking as being a limited tool for perceiving true reality. All these perspectives suggest that thinking is a temporary, imperfect tool for navigating the physical world, while knowing, i.e., direct, unmediated awareness, is the soul's natural state, accessible when we move beyond the filters of thought and speculation. Finally, while in this physical reality, we must rely on both of these means of meeting the challenges within the confines of four-dimensional limitations. The brain is the physical tool that, if used as intended, can open up one's, albeit limited but fascinating experiences. Knowing, on the other hand, must never be ignored by the noise and clatter of our brains at work doing what it was designed to do, i.e., help us on this human journey and adventure, while never forgetting that knowing is our normal eternal functioning status as eternal souls. Shalom.